If I have to go into a forum or Facebook page or TikTok sound and watch people debate what makes a car enthusiast, okay? When most people are on their first car that happens to be a daily driver given to them by their parents, all right, I might just start crying. Maybe I'm getting old. There's a chance that they might actually be happening, contrary to popular belief, but maybe it's Maybelline. Either way, it's a talking point that never seems to be going away. So what does it mean?
What do the numbers mean, Mason?
All right, I'm Alex Edify on the socials, and today we're gonna be talking about what chalky milk clarity of what it means, okay? What the terminology and what the accusations are actually about, okay? Not just the occasional fellow or fella that enjoys riding along in a fast car, but someone that wants to absolutely make their weekends miserable with breaking them. They're fine pieces of machinery, and we just enjoy making them absolutely useless because why the not, all right? Talking about something that was perfectly normal and by all intents and purposes either making it 100,000% more badass or just the most unreliable hunk of metal you've ever laid your eyes on. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're gonna be talking about you wanting to be and grow into being a car enthusiast. Welcome to Fitment Industries. Be sure to check out our massive ass gallery where we have aftermarket cars on wheels, tires, or suspension that you can see what fits and pick it up if you like it. That's pretty much how we started doing this entire thing, was we just wanted to make a cool gallery so it was easy to figure out what fits your car. Taking the guessing out of it a little bit because guessing is not fun when you're trying to make like a $1,200 purchase. Also, if you do have a cool car, add it to the gallery. We need more. It's like the Star Wars meme. We need that, all right? And if you're trying to finish your build before the season starts, we do have 0% financing available so you can pay it off later with your tax return. Either way, let's get into some sauce about talking about what it means to be a car enthusiast so these conversations on TikTok and YouTube can be put to rest, okay? Being a car enthusiast has been a thing for quite literally since the dawn of time. Ever since you could actually have a car, people have been modifying them to some sort of degree of some kind. I'm pretty sure when they had horses, they were modifying horses at that time too, okay? I'm pretty sure you could get horseshoes and fancy little dancy things if you wanted them to. But whether you're talking about the beginning of the automotive culture with carriages and people actually woodworking one-of-one cabins so they could have something unique on the gravel roads of Boston, or you're talking all the way up to the 50s explosion of money and the American dream, which was because of World War II, which conveniently included a vehicle for every family because they kind of slid that in there that, you know, you want a house, you want 2 cars, you want family, blah, 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 blah. There you go, American dream, capitalism. Yeah. People want to be just different enough to be unique, but not so much to the point where they are deemed weird. Crazy how the world works like that. The garage junkies of the United States turned their last name into brands that would all begin to know and love, that people and us now know and love, like Wyand, Holley, Edelbrock, and more. These were the names that from the 50s and 40s and even into the 60s, these names really started to capture the hearts and minds of people that were enthusiasts about building things in their garage. And it kind of just went toe to toe with the American dream. Then big names like American Racing were founded, and across the seas, names like NK, Weds, Volk, and Work began making a name for themselves into the 70s, allowing people to modify their wheels just as much as their motor. And in the 70s, you also had the expansion and explosion of the international market of car manufacturing in Japan. Over time, this extended even further with brands like Saibon, HKS, AWE, Cobb, Liberty Walk, RWB, and more to show you that you can just modify just about everything that comes on the car, plus a few things that you didn't know you could actually modify on the car. Like they just added canards because it seems like an exciting thing to do. And now, as we look into 2021, you can turn your head into just about anything. Like you can modify anything. I mean, there's everything. Max has a Toyota Matrix. You can build it, do a rally build. How about a Yaris? Wait, that's what Max has. Go steal all the parts from a GR and make the Focus ST owners cry. You want to see a Corvette? You can go set a world record, all right? Congratulations, all right? There's so many things you can do now to literally dominate every facet of YouTube, Twitter, Drive Tribe, TikTok, and then all of those other social media streams. There's probably another one between us making this video and talking about it. And now, nowadays, there's not a lot of subculture of a car modification that hasn't been touched by someone. And now, when you look at being a car enthusiast, between different subcultures, elbows are starting to get a little bumped. And you know what? Not everyone likes their elbows getting touched, right, Max? So when the RWB guy bumps into the purists, the snide remarks begin, all right? Evo function guys ain't about useless show cars. And Miata people now cringe at Miatas that have run amok with more plastic parts on it than metal. And G owners like the G35 and G37 are still getting on for their exhaust. We'll get through it. together. It's not fair, all right? It's a good platform. So that's why we're done talking about the history of being a car enthusiast, because you wanna know what? There's like a good couple 2-3 paragraphs on if you wanted to learn about the 40s, 50s, and 60s and how that established the foundational necessities of being a car enthusiast in the 21st century, but we're not gonna talk about that. You want some of that? Got like 9,000 videos back there that you can talk about. And there's one right here too. We did one about domestic wheels. That was pretty neat. So thanks, Mom, for watching it. No, we're here to talk about you wanting to be a car enthusiast. What's it actually mean to have that? And why are so many people up in arms about determining what is and what isn't and who isn't part of this secretive club, okay? So what's the gatekeeping and why does it matter, all right? So you want to be a car enthusiast. Well, let me tell you what you're really going to need before you even jump into owning an actual car. You're gonna want to take yourself down to Advanced Auto, maybe O'Reilly's, maybe anywhere in between. We're not sponsored by anyone, but they pretty much all got the same stuff. Brake cleaner, okay, more microfibers than you're comfortable with. Zip ties, double-sided tape, 3M. Don't get the trash version. The trash version doesn't work. Self-tappers, you're gonna need them. Window cleaner, the one that actually is not meant for automotive, that's the one you want. It comes in a white bottle. Flatheads, 3 10 millimeters because you're gonna lose 2. You're gonna wanna get at least 1 Dugga Dugga machine, a low pro jack, non-Harbor Freight jack stands, and coffee, beer, or soda pop, depending on where you're from. Once you get all of that stuff together, you're really starting to get into what it means to actually jump into being a car enthusiast, even if you don't really have a car yet. But once you have all of that, let's jump into it. Being a car enthusiast, for some reason, either everyone wants to be labeled with as, or they want to fight against being called it. You'll see some people fighting about, well, you're not a car enthusiast because of X reason. And you just want to reach through the monitor and you just want to ask, why? Why? Why are we focused on that? Why is that the thing that we need to talk about right now? What makes that conversation just so passionate for people? All right, so having a passion to modify cars is enough of a passion for us because quite honestly, everybody's trying to shut down the car modification world. The EPA is constantly trying to do it. If you haven't seen, SEMA put out a big thing trying to get people to sign a legislation so that we can keep modifying our cars. It's still a common thing. So the more people we can get, the better. The community, the culture, and the market depends on people like you and people like me to either take their cars and do some weird to them, or we're kind of sort of so whether that's a show build or function, just doing that sort of stuff is good enough to warrant whatever fancy title you would like. But being a car enthusiast does take a couple, 2-3 things that you may not think about until it's already too late. Mostly because we get infatuated with the idea of being a car enthusiast without actually going and learning what it's like to be a car enthusiast. It's like really wanting to be a mechanic because you love working on cars, and then you go to UTI, then you get your graduation degree, and then you realize that being a mechanic actually isn't really being a car enthusiast. It can be tough. Because there's quite a bit of sassy attitude, try to learn from the people that know the most. Now, it may seem counterintuitive, but sometimes the older folks that have the sassy attitude on the internet have the most knowledge. And I know it's weird, okay? But get through that initial stab to your pride when they call you out on installing something wrong and get their help or knowledge on how to fix it. A lot of times these boys and girls have been there a long while and they've watched the more novice audience claim to know everything because of a YouTube video or two, when really, sometimes you just don't know these things until you go and break them yourself. So a lot of times what we recommend is listening to that older audience, then jump into the forums and read, learn, understand, and ask questions as much as humanly possible before you do anything before you do anything else. And stay away from trying to put others down until you're at least like 70-ish or so years old. Because if you do this weird thing where you've been in it for 6 months and you start talking smack to everyone else, it's just not really fun. Putting others down does nothing. And understanding why people do things means everything. Then you can decide if that thing is something that you truly want to do or not to your car. Just don't be mean, unless you're really, really old, in which case it's fun to have a couple old mean geezers at a slam car show. It's just enjoyable to watch. Another thing, you need to try everything once before you decide to not do it forever. Now let me tell you, autocross is neat, and I love it, all right? But going on to Road America for the first time and realizing just how much fun / petrifying that truly is makes me want to completely change that gray hunk of metal that you've seen before with the red intake, because it is an absolute blast to be on that road course, and I just want to keep doing that. Not a road course, it's a track course, all right? It's an absolute blast. Now go do those things, go try new stuff, have fun, and at least give it a shot, because what you think you'd want to do and what you may end up loving are two very different things when you jump into all the subcategories of what it means to be an automotive enthusiast. And there's a lot of subcategories of the passion that could cause you to want to jump into drag racing or autocross or things like that. Being into cars can be something that lasts a season or your entire life. But either way, the best way to enjoy it is by enveloping yourself with whatever it is you choose to enjoy. Try to learn from those around you. Avoid the toxicity wherever possible. Have fun, and don't forget to trip Sean if you see him in public. We do this because it allows us to escape the lame world of everyday 9-to-5s, and that's really what it's all about. When we lose that, or the build becomes more about impressing others or chasing likes, you'll lose the passion over time, and it happens 100% of the time. But each types have cultures and have different knowledge bases and experience levels and people and potential issues and difficulty and all those sort of things, the same way that certain games have different sort of difficulty levels, and they're all built a little bit differently. Some are action, some are adventure, and some are just sims. Don't let any of those things slow you down. Enjoy the culture and enjoy the build. Enjoy everything you possibly can. Try to avoid gatekeeping, and for the love of God, it's Wheels. But what do you think? Let us know below, and of course, if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, be sure to check us out over at fitmentindustries.com. I'm Alex from Fitment Industries. I'm not spilling my coffee this time because I did that last time. We will see you later. Peace.